Hi guys, it's Tim from NLR Photo Academy, and today we got Tori from INON with us, and we're going to be talking about something very interesting and something new. I decided to share this information with you, so those who have been waiting for a new strobe, you have something to think about now. Tori, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me this time. And this time, this will be the first time to show our next new store model outside of Japan. So this will be a good chance to show detail of this new product to people.
The Z240, the S2000 and the D2000 have been very strong strobes in the market for a long time now. Not many complaints and many very happy customers. So the Z240 being the one that's been in the market for some time.
More than 10 years.
And people who have bought their Z240 10 years ago, some are still using that same one today.
Even before the Z240, we have a Z220, and still, many people still use the previous model.
I've seen a few people still using that one. Then you look at it and you say it looks the same, but not really the same. So if you've got such a successful model, why are we changing?
Because many of our Z240 customers and also people using other brand store, they have been waiting for a new INON store for a long time, because this Z240, as I explained, it's been in the market more than 10 years.
What is the difference from the new model, and what's the new model going to be called first?
And this new model is called Z330. Z330. And all of our store, the numbers stands for power. So Z240 means the maximum guide number is 24. And this new one is more powerful, at the rated guide number at 33.
Okay.
Next one, if we compare like this new Z330 has a dome lens in front, and also in front of flash tube there are 20 lens in front, which means this new Z330 has a very wider coverage. So we tested underwater coverage, which we haven't yet with the Z240, but with this new Z330, the underwater coverage is 110 degrees.
Okay, so we're looking at the back panel of the new Z330 in total darkness. Tori, tell us what's going on now. Is this a light?
This is not light, but a kind of a luminous material. So even during a black water diving, we will be able to see what the strobe position is and what the setting we have right now. And according to the manufacturer of this luminous material, it can glow for 4 hours, which we don't think so. Not that long. But for black water diving purpose, it's good enough.
Okay, so let's look at the two back panels here. I have a Z240 with me, and Tori's got the Z330. Battery wise, you will use the same 4AA?
Same 4AA.
Okay.
And it's identical between these two. Controls, it looks like same, but because the size is quite different. And the new Z330 has a bigger dial knob. And so even with the thick glove, diving in a cold water, those people can still have a comfortable control.
With gloves, Okay.
In Anila, it's okay. But in European people, many complain.
Okay, let's also look at the focus. The focus light, the same?
Focus light is this one. The power of a focus light is 180 lumen, while this new 330 is about 200 lumen.
Okay, so the focus light is brighter.
More powerful, brighter. And also, we put a special lens in front of a focus light. So not like a Z240, now we have a focus light in the center.
Okay, for those who are not familiar, if you look at the focus light actually on the Z240, it's actually a little bit towards the side. So what happens was when you were shooting the Z240 and using the focus light, your focus light is actually coming out towards the side. This is the focus light over here. But what they've done with the 330 is they've put a little lens over the focus light to redirect the light to the center. So what happens is the focus light is still on the side, but when it hits the bottom, it's actually angled towards the center. So that's what they've done with the Z330. Okay, so let's take a look at the back panel on the strobe. And Tori, are they the same? As far as the menu is concerned?
Yep.
Let's start off with the Z240. The first thing I have on my control dial is the off.
Yep.
This one, same?
Yep, this one same.
Then STTL.
Then STTL.
And then it's
Then
STTL low.
STTL low mode. Yep.
And then I have auto here.
Auto here, but this new Z330 doesn't have auto mode.
Okay, first of all, I want to understand what it really means by auto. Because I've seen this here, but I never use it on auto because I don't really know what does this auto mean. STTL means the camera is telling the strobe how hard to fire.
Yep.
But when you're using auto here, that means the strobe is deciding how much light to throw.
Yep, exactly.
How does this happen?
And actually, external auto mode is not the latest technology, but this one is a kind of a semi-automatic mode which still determines how much amount of light is required for main flash.
Okay, but if I've set my camera to f22, then how does he know how hard he's supposed to fire?
Because external auto mode, it is in a green letter, so we have to look green number around this right hand dial. And this green number stands for aperture value. And so when we use this external auto mode, we have to set the aperture priority mode or manual mode on the camera, which we can fix the aperture value. And those two aperture value on the camera and this strobe has to be matched.
Okay, so if I have set my camera to f16, then this one I have to set to 16, but the maximum is 11.
Maximum is 11, yep.
So then what happens?
Then
better don't use auto.
Then yes, better not to so better to stick on the STTL. That's why we eliminate with this auto mode from this new model.
Okay, so after auto, then it goes into manual.
Yep.
Here also manual.
Here also this new one go to full.
Full.
Yep.
Okay.
Then after go to manual.
So this is manual then full, and here
Manual.
is full then manual.
Full and manual.
Okay, so when you're using manual, then you are controlling the power.
Yep.
And when you're using full,
Yep.
then the camera, the strobe is just blasting.
Just blasting, and this right hand dial doesn't make any difference.
Okay. So Tori, here's one of the things on the INONs that I really have always wanted to ask about. This magnet.
Yep.
Tell me, when do you put this magnet down and when do you put it up, and what is the difference?
And this magnet switch is mainly for manual mode. If people shoot with the manual mode, and if camera makes pre-flash, then this magnet switch has to be pop up. But if camera doesn't make a pre-flash and only make a main flash, then we have to push and lock.
Take a minute to think about this, because this is something that not everybody has a very clear idea about. But if you tell the camera, the flash up to you, you decide what's best, then the camera will have a pre-flash and he senses the bounce back. This is a pre-flash, this is not the flash yet. And then based on the bounce back, the camera says, okay, we need power full. That's the flash. So when there is a pre-flash, then this needs to be
Block.
up.
Up.
And when you tell the camera, I set the power myself in the camera. So you tell the camera, the G16, I want new camera, not auto, full power. then the camera does not have to try and analyze anymore. You will just say, boss wants full power, full power. This needs to be.
This needs to be push down and lock.
Okay, I hope at least this part is useful. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about full. When this Z240 is on full, it's shooting on guide number 24.
Yep.
And this one, when it's on full, it's shooting on guide number
33.
33,
Yep.
okay.
Yep, 33.
Many people have asked me this, so I thought it's really good that Tori is here, so we can really understand this a lot better. On the modes, again, let me start it off with off, STTL, which is slave TTL, then STTL low, then it's full. Whatever the strobe can throw, it throws it all, and then it goes to manual. When it goes to manual, you, the user, are controlling the output, and that's when this lever comes into play. Because when you go all the way to the minimum, it's the full capacity minus 6 stops, then minus 5 stops, minus 4 stops, minus 3 stops, minus 2 stops, and all the way at the end is minus 0.5. That means full capacity minus 0.5 stop. So that would be the most powerful throw as far as the Z330 is concerned. Okay, back panel, we've got the focus light on user's left, we've got the magnet on user's right, we've got the connection here for you to actually do a real TTL through the lens. That means this cord goes into your housing, and inside the housing it has to connect to the camera. So now you are really directly connecting the camera with the strobe. Then you've got all the modes, then you've got the power controls, and at the bottom you've got the fiber optic sensor. This fiber optic sensor, as far as INONs are concerned, they are cupped and the fiber optic is always, sensor is exposed, so if you even don't have a cord and take it out, it can be triggered by a slave. Alright? Battery compartment, dome lens, focus light a bit centered, it's angled to the center. And tell us about the visor. This is something else that's quite interesting.
So these two will be a standard package with this new Z330 strobe, and this one is attached like this. And this partial shade can rotate all the way around.
Okay, here it is. It's a little visor-like thing that, as Tori explained, can go all the way around. Now, I tried this strobe today, and I find a very good use for this. When I was shooting wide angle, and I was coming close to a big rock, when I position my strobes, normally when you position your strobes in this way, you also light up the floor. So I use this little visor down at the bottom and I put it here. So it was limiting light towards the bottom, but upwards it's throwing at 180 and this part is blocked off. I don't know if some of you try this or not, but even in a macro sense, when you're using a visor like this, you see it's like a little cap shade over here, and if you have a little rock here, and let's say for example a nudie branch on top, you don't want the light to go all the way to the back. So this kind of like shades it down. Your light angle will come down like this, and if you want it to be a very black background, you can actually tilt it in a little bit more, and then you are not lighting up what's behind this visor. So I find this visor to be something that is quite useful. I tried this today and I used it today on wide angle. And I tried to avoid hitting the ground too much, you know, and if I was going to shoot something there and I don't want to light that up too much, then I can actually, okay, I don't want this to be lit up, I don't want it to be lit up. You can control the light a little bit more. Now tell us about the diffuser. This is something new, no? Because your old diffuser is like this.
Because from this new model, we put the dome range in front originally, so we designed diffuser also as a dome, like a dome shape. And this one we will call soft diffuser. If people don't like a too harsh light, then we can attach this one to make it softer.
Okay. So, will you have different thicknesses or different diffusing?
And this one will be a standard package. It's
Okay.
only a one kind, but we are now designing a different type of diffuser.
Bayonet type. So if you are shooting wide angle and stuff really far away, then you would probably work without the diffuser. And then if you're shooting macro or things that are a bit closer by and you want it to be a bit softer, then if you look at the cup, it's actually got teeth. It's a bit of a bayonet type. Yeah. So it just goes in here and then it clicks. So that's where it sticks. Anything else you want to tell us about this Z330, like when it's coming out and stuff like that?
And
We don't want the video to be too long, otherwise no one will watch it.
at this stage, we are trying to get in the market next month, before the end of this year.
Okay. Well, if there's anything you need to ask more about the Z330, where to buy it and so forth, you want to give them the website?
Yeah. Please go to www.inon.jp.
inon.jp, and there's an email address there also.
Yep. info@inon.co.jp.
It's on the website.
Yep.
And you are the guy to reply this.
Yep.
Okay. So write simple English.
Please.
Because hope this was useful. Z240, no more introduction. If you have Z240 with you now, you have a very good strobe in your hand. But if you are thinking of getting a new strobe, then you may want to consider the new one. That's the one in production now, the Z330. Hopefully, like Tori says, before the end of 2017. You say ready by end 2017, that means hit in stores by when?
Yep.
By when? 2018?
It depends on the market.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hope this was useful.
どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you, Tori.
Okay, thank you very much.